Hey YouTube friends and family. Today I am out in a place where I began my gardening journey. I'm from a small town in Mississippi, like I've already shared with you, and I'm home for the holidays, and my aunt was nice enough to let me come out and actually film the garden while I tell you the story of how I first learned how to garden. So I remember when we were little kids, my uncle used to have someone plow all these rows here. And there were a little bit more than what I'm showing here, even though my aunt here has a beautiful garden. There's a little bit more rows here than what we had before, but every kid had their own individual rows. So like I think I had like this row here and this row here, and we grew everything. We grew tomatoes, potatoes, corn, okra, beans, peas, squash, cucumbers. If you name it, we had it all. Plus, there used to be a tree out here as well. And over here where the road is, there was a blackberry vine, and also like one of those plum cherry trees. But this is where I first learned how to garden. Not only did we know how to put down fertilizer, we also learned how many seeds to put in each hole. Like it was literally like an assembly line. My mom and my aunt would be the ones who were creating the holes, and my uncle will be having us with the seeds and telling us how many to put in each hole. And I'm so grateful to be able to come back and see that the garden is still being in use. My aunt has a lot of greens here. Then she got some cabbages growing. It's looking real nice. Real nice. Very nice. So I just want to share that tidbit with you guys while I'm here visiting my family. And got a little bit more I want to share with you, so stick around. So a little bit more of the backstory. All this land that we are driving by here, this all belongs to my family. This all belongs to my family. This is in my family lineage, passed down to us from slavery times. I do have an ancestor who was a slave, and when the slaves were freed, we were given 40 acres, a tractor, and a mule. Now as I drive down further down the road, I'm not sure exactly where the property line starts and where it ends, but I know that part back there with all the greenery, that's ours. Not sure how far it goes up though. So we're on this little road here, and I want to show you guys the church that I grew up in. And I'm not gonna be creepy and show you the the grave site that's across the street. I do have a lot of family members over there, and when I come home I do like to go and visit the grave sites where my family is buried. But here we are, and again you have to think like the way this looks now was not the way it looked completely when I grew up. So just gonna sit on the stoop here and reminisce a little bit. So I'm here sitting on the stoop of my home church. It's the church that I grew up in, the church that my mom brought us to every Sunday. You know, we are in the South, so you know, churches down here, you know, you start at 2 o'clock, you don't leave until 3. They had about 5 collection plates passed around back in those days. I'm not sure how many they have going around now. But I remember my mom getting baptized here, and my aunt getting baptized at this church and becoming members. My sister, my cousins, you know. And it's just a lot of great memories here growing up. And the building still looks really nice. Still looks really good. I remember after church, because we had the garden, we would go down to my grandmother's house, where my aunt is staying in now, my grandmother's house, and literally we would eat everything that we planted. So we had some wonderful meals. I mean, wonderful meals growing our own garden. And we did that for I don't know how long. And I was talking to my mom before I made this trip, and she was telling me how not only did they have a garden, like my mom used to help grow all the stuff, like her and my aunts and my uncles, like when they came home from school, they had chores to do. Like they literally had like a farm. Like they had cows, they had chickens, goats, and food. And I'm like, well, how come you never told me this before? But this is probably why I've developed an even more passion for growing my own food. But because now I know it's like rooted in my DNA. So going back to my roots and gardening and just looking around here, is such a beautiful day, and the weather here is absolutely gorgeous. A little chilly, but nothing that a long sleeve and a sweater won't fix, you know. So I think that's gonna be it for today, and I'm gonna go over there and to the gravesite and hang out with some relatives for a little bit. I know that might sound creepy. I think I'm gonna keep that in the video. Just so you guys can see what kind of person I really am. So I'm gonna go over there, and I think that'll be it. I think that's it. I got other videos if you guys want to check those out, if you're watching to the end of this this video here. But I appreciate you guys for kind of hanging out with me while I kind of give you a little tour of, you know, my home. There's my sister. Everybody called her a little bit because she was so tiny. She was so tiny. But holding up good. Holding up real good out here.